Landon Robinson has been fighting for Social Security benefits for 22 years, a battle that has seen court orders in his favor repeatedly unheeded by the Social Security Administration. How can a system designed to provide support become such an entrenched adversary, forcing someone back to court multiple times over decades?
It's a deeply concerning situation, Lily. Landon Robinson's case is outlined in a letter he sent to Congresswoman Sidney Kamlager-Dove, where he details an unpaid and diverted Social Security benefit. He states the problem has persisted for 22 years and that the Social Security Administration, or SSA, has acted without reason in his case. He's trying to avoid a third federal court appearance and the need to pay another 25% attorney fee due to what he calls the administration's vexatious, frivolous, bad faith decisions.
22 years is an incredibly long time to be pursuing benefits. What exactly are these benefits, and what legal grounds is he standing on to claim them?
Landon is seeking childhood disability benefits, often referred to as CDB, DAC, or C1. These are for an adult son or daughter, age 18 or older, who became disabled before age 22. He cites several specific Social Security codes. For instance, 42 U.S.C. Section 402 D1 states, quote, "Every child of an individual entitled to old age or disability insurance benefits shall be entitled to a child's insurance benefit for each month," end quote, provided they meet certain criteria. The SSA Handbook, Section 518, further explains this, confirming eligibility if disabled before 22. Section 518.2 also covers re-entitlement to benefits after a prior termination.
So the legal framework clearly supports the type of benefits he's seeking, but his letter implies the SSA is actively preventing him from receiving them, despite these clear guidelines. How can that be?
That's precisely the crux of his argument. He points to 42 U.S.C. Section 402D, which specifies that entitlement continues until certain terminating events occur. Crucially, the code states, quote, "No provision authorizes stopping benefits that were never paid due to administrative error," end quote. This suggests that if his benefits were due, but simply not paid because of an administrative error, they should not have been stopped. Furthermore, and perhaps most importantly, 42 U.S.C. Section 405G clarifies that court orders are binding on SSA and must be implemented, including full back pay to the proper entitlement date.
A court order that is binding on SSA seems like a definitive statement. If a court has ruled in his favor, how can the SSA simply disregard it or continuously delay payment for more than 2 decades?
That's where the court documents shed more light. In March 2021, U.S. District Judge Alan C. Kay issued an order in the case of Robinson v. Saul, which is the Commissioner of Social Security. The court reversed the commissioner's decision denying SSI and SSDI benefits and remands to the ALJ for further administrative proceedings. The judgment was entered in Robinson's favor, stating that as the prevailing party, he was entitled to attorney's fees, court costs, and other expenses under 28 U.S.C. Section 2412. In fact, in May 2021, an order was signed for Andrew Saul, the defendant, to pay $11,000 in attorney's fees to Landon Robinson's counsel, Diane C. Haar.
So he won in federal court and even had his attorney's fees covered. That should have been the end of it, with his benefits being paid. What happened after that?
This is where the administrative cycle becomes apparent. Despite the court's clear ruling, a June 2023 notice from the SSA informed his attorney that the case was sent back to an administrative law judge again. Then, in May 2024, Landon received a notice of decision fully favorable from administrative law judge Ruxana Meyer, confirming his entitlement. Yet, a benefit verification letter dated June 20, 2026, which is 2 years after the fully favorable decision, still states that his full monthly Social Security benefit is $0, and that benefits were stopped in December 2017 and July 2004. This is despite the letter explicitly confirming you are entitled to monthly disability benefits and you are entitled to monthly benefits as a dependent of the wage earner.
This is astonishing. A federal court rules in his favor, an administrative law judge issues a fully favorable decision, and years later, the benefit verification still shows $0. It seems like the SSA is stuck in a loop of administrative error and non-compliance. What about his claim of vexatious, frivolous, bad faith actions by the administration?
That specific language comes from the Equal Access to Justice Act, or EAJA, under 28 U.S.C. Section 2412B. It allows courts to award attorney fees against the United States if its position was found to be vexatious, frivolous, or in bad faith. Another section, 28 U.S.C. Section 2412D, states that attorney fees are awarded unless the United States position was substantially justified. The fact that Landon Robinson has already received an EAJA award for attorney fees after prevailing suggests the court already found the SSA's position was not substantially justified. His concern is that without direct intervention, he'll be forced to pursue further legal action, incurring more costs that will again be reimbursed by the SSA through EAJA, essentially penalizing taxpayers for the SSA's continued failure to implement orders.
So, Landon Robinson's appeal to Congresswoman Kamala Dove is essentially asking her to cut through this bureaucratic inertia, given that legally there's nothing left to decide. It's simply a matter of the SSA processing the payment that's already been determined and legally mandated.
Exactly. His letter states, quote, "There is nothing that needs to be decided anymore. They just need to process the entire payment," end quote. He's asking for immediate reinforcement of these direct Social Security codes because his eligibility and the SSA's obligation to pay have been repeatedly affirmed, yet he remains unpaid after 22 years.
Landon Robinson's decades-long struggle highlights a profound challenge in administrative justice, where even clear legal victories can be undermined by ongoing institutional delays. If you found this discussion insightful, please share it with someone who might also benefit from understanding these issues.